Imagine a world where the word Viking instantly brings to mind horned helmets, bloodthirsty savages, and burning monasteries. For centuries, that's exactly how we pictured them, the ultimate barbarian raiders of the Dark Ages. But what if I told you that almost everything you think you know about the Vikings is wrong? Today, we're going deep into the real story, who the Vikings actually were, where they came from, what the latest DNA evidence reveals, and why the myth of the barbarian raiders is one of history's greatest misunderstandings. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never see the Viking Age the same way again. The Vikings weren't mindless killers from the frozen north. They were skilled seafarers, traders, farmers, poets, and explorers who changed the course of European history forever. The myth started almost immediately after the first major raid on Lindisfarne in 793 AD. Christian monks described heathen men arriving like wolves from the sea. Later, Victorian novelists and Hollywood movies turned them into cartoon villains with horned helmets, an image that archaeologists have never once found in any real Viking grave. In truth, the Vikings were opportunists. Their homeland in Scandinavia was becoming overcrowded due to population growth and limited farmland. Climate changes and political instability also pushed young men to seek wealth and land overseas. They raided when it was profitable, but they also traded peacefully, settled new lands, and intermarried with local populations across Europe. They built thriving colonies, created laws, and even formed powerful kingdoms. This was not mindless destruction, it was calculated expansion. So where did the Vikings actually come from? They were Norse people from what is now Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Their roots trace back to the Proto-Norse tribes of the Iron Age, who had some contact with the Roman Empire through trade. By the late 8th century, everything aligned for expansion: better ships, growing population, and a desire for adventure and riches. The Viking Age officially ran from 793 AD to about 1066 AD, ending with the Norman conquest of England. Importantly, they were never one single nation. They were independent bands of warriors, traders, and families who shared a common language, pagan religion, and seafaring culture. Their longships were engineering marvels that allowed them to strike quickly and travel vast distances. This was the birth of a new era. Modern DNA research has completely rewritten our understanding. The largest Viking genetic study, published in Nature in 2020, examined over 400 Viking-era skeletons from across Europe. The results were surprising. Vikings were genetically diverse. Many had ancestry from the British Isles, southern Europe, and even the Eurasian steppe. Some individuals buried in Scandinavia with Viking artifacts had little to no Scandinavian DNA. They had simply adopted the culture. Women traveled and settled alongside men, and genetic evidence shows significant mixing. The classic image of tall, blonde, blue-eyed Scandinavians is only partly accurate. Red hair was common, and diversity was the norm rather than the exception. Science has shattered the old stereotypes. Beyond the raids, Viking society was surprisingly advanced. They held things, early democratic assemblies where free men, and sometimes women, gathered to make laws and settle disputes. Their art featured intricate animal-style carvings and rune inscriptions. They were master navigators, using sunstones and stars to cross oceans. They traded furs, amber, and slaves for silver and silk from the Islamic world and Byzantium. Over time, many Vikings converted to Christianity, blending old pagan beliefs with the new faith. They left behind rich oral traditions in the form of sagas that we still read today. Far from simple barbarians, they were complex people who built, traded, explored, and adapted. This was a sophisticated civilization. Today, over 100 million people worldwide carry Viking genetic heritage. Their language influenced modern English, their explorations changed world maps, and their stories inspire books, movies, and festivals. The real Vikings weren't cartoonish raiders. They were explorers, builders, and survivors who left an incredible legacy. The The myth was easy to sell, but the truth is far more fascinating and nuanced. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the real Viking world, hit like, subscribe to Viking Realms, and comment below. Which Viking myth should we bust next? Thanks for watching, and until the next saga, keep exploring the past.